My stomach is talking to me. It's not my brain or anything else this time, just my stomach. So if you hear very strange sounds, there's nothing from beyond coming through. My intestines want to have a conversation. So I'll handle that at some point, I suppose. Oh man. So I've gotten started quite a bit later today. I've been wrestling with computers, and heads felt a little foggy, and I had to sleep in a little bit, or let myself, because I don't know, just couldn't sleep very good. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and had a message from someone about these videos, and it ended up being a fun, cute conversation. So I guess it was worth the lack of sleep. But I'm feeling sloggy today, which is a new word for groggy, foggy, and sluggish. So we've got sloggy going on. My brain's like, and you're totally irresponsible to be doing a video when you feel this way, because you're not going to sound coherent and you're going to just look like an ass. Well, guess what? I think sloggy is part of life. So if I didn't do a video while I'm feeling this way, we'd be going down the bullshit highway. So one thing I'm definitely noticing in this 2.5 weeks right now, which today is actually number 14 of the videos, which is, I'm gonna cry. And I love it. Because there's very few things I've done 14 days in a row. I think I've continued to breathe 14 days in a row. You know, stuff like that. But if it was a consistent, just because it was coming out of me for 14 days and it was calling or whatever, the mind was too in charge. So even though I'm tackling on these computer issues, because I have 2 different types of computers now, and then I want to borrow a laptop so I can consistently just type, because so much stuff's coming through, and yada yada yada, and none of them are fully where I'd like them to be, and then update this and download this, and all of it's just like, yeah, fuck you. Like, nice effort, lady, but... So what's different about that is, one, I'm not calling, texting, freaking out to get a hold of my computer gurus. And I think that's partially because I'm just starting to trust myself in a different way. And it's not that I don't want to ask for help. It's I don't feel the need to do so at this point. If I need to, I think I would just reach out and ask for that. So maybe I'm looking at it as part of my training. Because every time I hit a roadblock with these computers, I'll take a break and then I'll hear, well, ask this, check this. And I'm not a computer person at all. I mean, I can turn them off, I can turn them on. Well, I'm not even sure if I get that right. And I hit enough buttons that it kind of does what I want. But I'm learning to ask certain questions, and I'm checking things I didn't normally do. So there's a weird sense of trust there. And also, like yesterday, my daughter called and asked kind of what was going on, and I said, well, what's interesting is I don't feel rageful. Like when this isn't working, because normally if I'm on a time constraint or have something going on, which I'm writing a book, there's a deadline, I would be furious, just panicked, and my MO is to punch the computer screen and scream, and then I'll probably yell at whoever bought the computer or gave me the computer, because they should know how to fix it right damn now. And I don't want to hear any excuses. Just fix the fucker. And I'm vicious and I'm mean And then I'm embarrassed that everyone saw that part of me, and then I try and pretend that's not there, and I'm really nice, I just had a moment. I'm even scared of when I can get like that. So for me to go days and days and days and continually figuring stuff out and downloading a program, and oh, that didn't work, and now I gotta take it back out. Well, I'm not freaked out, I'm not pissed off. That's new. I'm not numb. I mean, I feel some frustration or whatever, but it just seems like there'll be another step that's just gonna show up on this invisible bridge, and as long as I keep going forward, it'll sort itself out. So that's very different. And the other thing I'm noticing is I'm getting some ferocious boundaries. I've been a boundaryless person for 45 years. And I've allowed a lot of damage to happen. Considerable amounts of damage. And then I cause damage. Had some really interesting points of view or lack of for what's okay or not okay, or how I'm treated. I just take it and take it and take it. And part of that may be because the type of household I grew up in, it was a landmine. And I felt responsible, and I was asked to be responsible for the person that I felt like was planting the mines. So I'm the person that can take an incredible load on her shoulders. Healthy or not, I can just go into autopilot and handle it. It shuts off everything in my body. I get really sick afterwards, but I can just move. And I mean for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I can take beatings and inappropriate behavior and in every way that goes down, mental, physical, sexual, emotional, like right down the line, I take these vicious beatings. And part of me is like, well, maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, or if I can learn to, if I can take it then and get to a space of being okay with it, that's unconditional love. That's being Christ-like. That's being God-like. That means I'm enlightened, I'm transformed. I went to these seminars and I saw these gurus and they seem to love it all, so I will just keep loving it all. Well, the context was incorrect because I wasn't stepping into my knowingness. Because my knowingness was like, get your fucking hands off me. Your knowingness swears. I'm sorry, that's just true. I don't care, it's not a religious thing. My knowingness enjoys the F word. And my knowingness does not apologize. So, yeah, I have had a severe lack of boundaries. If you need this done and you call me and I'm in the middle of a nightmare, everything gets dropped and I go handle your stuff. You need me to help build your business? I'll go build your business. Do I have an income? No, but I'll help you out. And then I let those people ask me for those things. Part of it is one, because I do enjoy the experience of it. I like to learn things and tackle new things. So there is that part of it that I own. I do like to do that. I'm the person that if, hey, you do that for work. Can I go with you one day? Can I just sit and watch? I'll help. I will do that. I would just go sit in people's house for a day just to watch and hang out and see what that's like and then be on my way. I don't know. So that's part of it. That's an inherent part of me that I'm just very curious. So I do take on things that maybe I shouldn't, but it just feels fun or I want to try it out. But most of the time, I have no business doing it. So now my time is completely different to me because I have this purpose for my time. and I'm not willing to go do dumb shit I don't want to do. And I'm not taking on your project because my life is full. And if I'm supposed to be there, I will be there. I trust that. So I don't feel guilty about it. And here's something I saw yesterday when I was writing was my daughter was upset. Very upset. And she was texting me how angry and upset and pissed she was. And I wasn't replying. I was doing stuff, whatever. And of course her mind is saying, oh, look, she didn't reply. So then the text got angrier and angrier. And before, I would have kept trying to help her, coach her, calm her down, go pick her up. Whatever she would have wanted, I would have done that. And now what I find myself doing is realizing how heavy that feels to me. And it's a load I actually can't carry, and it's not my job to carry, and it's irresponsible of me to try and carry it. Does that mean I don't love my daughter? No. My daughter doesn't even question if I love her or not. Her mind might sometimes, because her mind doesn't want to deal with the noise, the going down and feeling. And when your mind gets ahead of you, that's rough. But what I'm seeing is, if it feels too heavy for me to carry, or my knowingness is saying, you're taking away her training. You're just handing her a cake and not letting her learn to bake it. Which the only reason that's funny is she's type 1 diabetic, so no, she doesn't even get cake. A turkey there. And when she comes down, she sees that. But I actually sat there twice as she was texting me, and she was so angry. And the thing is, I'm really quick and clever, so I can give you a little tip or trick to help you feel better. But I can't run the marathon for you and giving you tips and tricks about running. Unless you run, it won't help you. And I know her strength, and so I'm not going to encroach on her boundaries and try and save her from something that she doesn't need to be saved from. Which actually makes my projects and all the things I'm working on seem impossible, because I turn everything over to an imagined problem. That I imagine that she can't handle it, so I have to, because I'm quick at breaking things down. I'm quick at patching things up. I can figure anything out. Blah, 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 blah. But that's not my job. And I've done that job for, I think, just about every single person I've ever met. And so they come running. Some people wake up in the morning and get ready for the day. I look at my phone like, oh dear God, what's on there? Because there would be 15 texts by morning. I'm feeling this. I'm hurting here. Well, could you help me with this? Hey, tomorrow do you think? Oh my gosh, I know we haven't talked a long time, but... And I'm not... I mean, that's great that they consider me to be someone that they can be open with. It's just my lack of boundaries have allowed them to not either look in their larger circle for maybe some help and to connect there, or to just let that pain just blow it out so that it can start healing up and rebuilding. Because if you're in pain and you're stressed and you're just miserable, you're far closer to yourself than when you're happy and elated and running around and don't give a shit about nothing. Because you feel good. But you don't do soul work when you're like that. You're not building muscle. You're enjoying the reprieve of the workout. So I let her be, and then she texted me later and she said, when I get like that, do not reply, because that's not how I feel about you, and I'm not going to be able to work through stuff if we keep engaging like that. And so that was pretty cool, because I had to really let that go and cried it out, because I don't want her not to accept me. But if I do things to get people to accept me, I absolutely will not accept me. My mind won't, and I'll just be way off course, and then I get messed up. So that's what I'm noticing, is that I'm calmer, and that doesn't mean I'm not feeling my feelings. When I feel happy, I feel happy. When I feel grouchy, I feel grouchy. When I feel sloggy, I feel sloggy. But there's not the grasping at the minute I'm happy, clawing into that. Like you see the rock climbers and they hit that thing. You know, that's what it feels like when I've been happy my whole life, is grabbing onto it. And now when I'm happy, it goes through and I enjoy it and I feel it. But I don't have a panic feeling if it's not going to come back. Better hold on to it. There's just a sense of it'll come in, it'll go out. It'll come in and it'll go out. And I'm feeling grouchy. There's not a, what am I going to do? I got to fix it. It's going to be derailed. Everything's going to shit. Forget it. It's all over. No, I just turn on the camera and say I'm grouchy. And then I feel grouchy, and I might still feel grouchy. But I don't have to figure out why. Don't try and figure out why. You can't. And it just tells here again, could you help me out here? Because I'm feeling a little, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'd love to help you. It's the one that told you at the beginning, oh, you're grouchy and that's off. You're off, you're off. No, I just feel grouchy. So that and my boundaries, which is night and day from my entire life.